Valley oop last year that Ayton made in that conference playoff win. Draymond with a great block. He retrieves the loose ball, takes it all the way. Payton couldn't get the follow. Green knocked it loose. Great hustle by Green. Toscano Anderson. Man, they earned that bucket.
This is Draymond Green, and what you just saw was everything he provides for the Warriors in 15 seconds. A quick recovery and a block, running the fast break, missing the layup, getting a steal, and then throwing a dime. Draymond has been one of the Warriors' most important players since their first title run, and that's really been showing this season in the games that he's missed. Because even though the Warriors still have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in certain games, they are still struggling to win their games without Draymond despite playing some of the worst teams in the league. So what exactly is going on? How does a dude that averages 8, 7, and 7 have this much impact on a team? Well, today we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about his impact this season, both on offense and defense, his impact in the locker room, and we're going to talk about how the Warriors might hold up during his timeout. So let's get into the video. So real quick before we begin, I know a lot of you guys watching this are not subscribed, so if you do fall into this category, please feel free to hit the sub button. It only takes a second and really helps out a lot, and also be sure to leave a like. That also helps out a lot. So the recent downfall of the Warriors has been caused by a very unfortunate combination of a bunch of different things. Steph Curry forgot how to shoot, guys have been in and out of the lineup due to injuries and protocol, and Klay Thompson is gunning. Look, I love the guy, but Klay, you don't have to shoot everything. But without a doubt, the biggest problems have been Steph Curry's struggles and Draymond Green missing time, which you could definitely argue that those two things are intertwined because of how connected those two dudes are on the court. However, Steph's slump started a long time before Draymond started missing games, and plus the Warriors were still doing well even on nights when he wasn't shooting that well. The real problems started once Draymond Green started missing games, because what he provides for this team is, well, everything. You simply just don't know until you watch him play. He's the heartbeat and the energy of the team, and he's the anchor on defense. His versatility has allowed him to be a small ball center while also having the ability to guard some of the best perimeter players in the league. His IQ on defense forces teams to do exactly what he wants them to do, and he sees plays before they happen. This play is the perfect example. This is simply incredible. So this play starts out with Draymond guarding Pascal Siakam. The Raptors start with a Van Vliet handoff and start to set up for a Van Vliet-Siakam pick and roll. So Draymond calls out for a switch right away so he can stay and guard the paint. So he switches on to Khem Birch. Van Vliet rejects the screen and drives into Kevon Looney to force Jordan Poole to make a decision. The problem is that Andrew Wiggins is in position to close out to either Siakam or Scotty Barnes. At the same time, Gary Trent makes a move to the paint. And it looks like what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep Draymond far away from the ball, because now he's occupied with Trent's cut, but they swing the ball back to Scotty Barnes and he tries to make a move at the rim, but he can't because Wiggins recovers, and Steph and Draymond are guarding this post up, so they reset out to Siakam. Draymond picks up Gary Trent again, and Steph calls a switch. But Draymond sees something else, so he's not concerned about this, because he sees that Pascal Siakam now has Jordan Poole on an island. So he makes a move to the rim. Draymond sees this, and, well...
And if you look at all the Warriors teams that's been successful...
So, just so you understand what actually just happened, let me replay this in full speed.
Guard, Alvin, for sure. And you mentioned it, the Warriors team is the team, right? That's why they are good. Steph Curry, heck yeah, unbelievable. All the other guys, good. But Steph and the whole team, they know their roles. And if you look at all the Warriors teams that's been successful.
That is absolutely nuts. And he has plays like this all the time, but we would be here all day if I wanted to go through them all, so let's move on to the offensive side, where he also directs traffic. And just like the play that started the video, this is a stretch of plays in the Warriors game against San Antonio of Draymond Green just taking over the game with his passing and defense. So first play, Draymond waits for Steph to come off the JTA screen to see what read he needs to make. JTA slips the screen, two defenders go with Curry, dunk for JTA. Very next play, rebound, running the break, nobody stops the ball this time because they were probably expecting a pass, so Draymond just takes it in. A little bit later in the quarter, Draymond once again sagging off the center, who in this case is Jakob Poeltl, and Trey Jones is guarded by Chiozza. Wait, he's guarded by... why the f*** is Chiozza on the floor? Anyway, Draymond is looking to stop the drive here, but he's still in position to recover back to Poeltl if needed. But that's not necessary because Trey Jones, for whatever reason, decided to challenge Draymond Green at the rim And a couple plays later, Draymond catches the ball all alone at the top of the three-point line, but he drives in, and you can see they're still playing him for the pass, which allows him to get to the rim for a reverse layup. The next play, they do the exact same thing as earlier. They run another action with Steph and JTA. Steph once again draws 2 defenders, and Draymond once again makes the split-second read, and it's another dunk. And like before, this is consistent throughout the game. Obviously not to this extent where every single play starts and ends with him, but he's still an important piece of this offense, which is what has made the last few games extremely difficult. Because he makes so many reads and plays with the ball, the Warriors' entire offense has been thrown off in his absence, with a lot of the newer players looking confused, as Draymond's role is now being replaced by players such as Nemanja Bjelica, Kevon Looney, and Juan Toscano Anderson, which none of those guys are equipped for the Draymond role, so I don't even know why that happened. But another issue related to that is the fact that Draymond isn't there to yell at people when they mess up. So some of these mistakes are repeating themselves. Now, some of the blame is on Steph Curry and Steve Kerr for not providing that role, but they're not really that type of dude. Steph Curry occasionally screams when things are getting catastrophic, but other than that, he's a pretty chill player. And the struggles have only been compounded by the return of Klay Thompson, because on top of him getting limited minutes, he hasn't played with Draymond since the 2019 finals. And so a lot of these guys that have never played with Klay before are missing him in situations that Draymond probably would have found him. And while he is starting to get his rhythm back, it still doesn't help that they're playing all these games without Draymond in the lineup, because he is so instrumental in getting Steph and Klay open. And plus, this isn't at all what they're going to be doing once he's actually back. Now, I don't think having Draymond back would fix everything wrong right now, but it would fix most of it. The Warriors have been one of the best offensive teams throughout the year. However, after Draymond got injured, the Warriors have become one of the worst offensive teams throughout that stretch of games. Interestingly enough, their overall defense hasn't really suffered at all, but there have been some games where they've been in a lot of trouble on certain matchups that Draymond would have been there for. Prime example was the Bucks game. We had absolutely zero answers for Giannis. Well, really anybody, because nobody came to play. Now, I understand that Draymond on Giannis isn't a game changer, but it's helpful to have him out there to help shut down everyone else during the minutes where Giannis isn't on the floor. Because the strategy really should be, let Giannis have his, because you're not going to stop him with the personnel on your roster anyway. However, the roster is built to defend everybody else. You have guys like Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson for Chris Middleton, and you have guys like Gary Payton for Drew Holiday. And the team overall is just really good at defending the three-point line. So I like our chances there, but of course the X factor and biggest question would be Giannis. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. So let's talk about the immediate future, because Draymond is set to miss the entire homestand, which ends with our second matchup against the Brooklyn Nets. But the other games just shouldn't be overlooked. The Jazz, the Mavericks, the T-Wolves, the Nets. The Jazz game is gonna suck with no Draymond. The only way I see us winning this game is if we constantly put Rudy Gobert in tough positions. And if they can't hit threes again, because they've been cold recently. The Mavericks I'm not too concerned about because they're a perimeter-oriented team, and I feel like if we do show up for that game, we could stand a decent chance. The T-Wolves, Cat is gonna get his. No way around it. It's just a matter of slowing down Ant and D'Lo because they can be streaky players. And the Nets. And this kind of depends on if Kyrie is allowed to play, because KD is out for at least another month, so it would just be Harden, which we can definitely handle. But of course, Kyrie out there as well would complicate things a little bit, but we do have the pieces to slow them down on defense. And Draymond is set to come back hopefully after the homestand is over, but no guarantees right now. And that's the foreseeable future with Draymond out. It could be tough, but Steph seems like he's found a new burst of energy after hitting that game winner, and the team overall seems to be getting more comfortable playing without Draymond, especially Jordan Poole, who will likely see big minutes once again soon. But all these games are toss-ups, so we'll see what happens. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to be notified when I upload, comment down below what you want to see next, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.